Hey Ratbags, it's Jade. Today I'm going to break down everything I've encountered in the first few days of the brand new update for Core Keeper Desert of Beginnings. It's live now for everyone, so you'll be able to jump in your own go-kart and skimmy through the sand. I'm going to guide you gently through some of the new stuff that you'll encounter, as well as some top picks from the patch notes. So leave a like if you want to see more Core Keeper. It really does encourage me to do more, and let's go. There are two distinct new biomes in the brand new update. You've got the actual desert, and then you've got this molten biome. This is where you're going to find the molten slimes as well as the molten butterflies. As you might expect, they all deal quite a lot of burn damage, so you're going to have to be careful as it will reduce your health over time. And there's plenty of loot crates as well as forgotten mining equipment. And if you search really far and wide, you might come across an ancient forge to hopefully craft a legendary tool. It looks like there's a brand new pickaxe that you can craft or make. I haven't worked out exactly how to get it, but I'm definitely going to get that video up as soon as I have. So you're definitely going to need something like bridges to get across a lot of this area, and obviously look out for the fiery enemies. You can pick up the metal grates, which I really like the look of, and I'm definitely going to get a whole bunch of them. But of course, the biggest part of the world, the new world you'll be exploring, is the desert environment, and you may need the go-kart to get around a bit quicker. Now you can find these wrecks or badly damaged ones, and they're not that great. They don't go fast enough to avoid the scarabs, and you can often get killed by running into a wall, as you can't get out of them until you've actually come to a full stop. But it's a start, and it means that if you've got a few friends, you find enough of these scattered around the world at the remains of ruined tracks, you'll be able to hopefully start up some races until you can craft your own. You'll be able to unlock a workbench, and it's quite expensive in terms of the ores to craft, but yeah, you'll be able to get one that's better at handling and one that's a bit quicker moving around. You can see some of the new weapons I'm using here, like the chakra. It's a super cool weapon, rapidly firing, and I'm sure if you buff it the right way with the right build, it can do a lot of damage. You also get poison knives that you can also pick up from a drop from some of the cave-ins running around the desert. When it comes to the scarabs, they will explode once they've taken a few hits of damage, or they do get close enough, so it is definitely a dangerous creature. Like, explosions can do a lot of damage. Unless I'm doing something wrong, you don't seem to get many resources from killing them. Even if you manage to kill them before their explosion does, yeah, nothing really drops from them. But you do find the scarab wing covers scattered through the desert. I'll bet pretty far and few between, and you're going to need these to make the summoning stone so you can actually find a new boss. You will come across smaller watering holes or oases in the desert that give you prime locations to go and fish. Of course, there's brand new ruins or dungeons to go and explore filled with the cave-ins from the desert, so these can be pretty dangerous. Admittedly, there wasn't as much great loot in here. There were some brand new build pieces that are light, and you are going to have to find the small little corridors filled with sand to go through. So I'm hoping as I explore some more of these, I do get a little bit more reward. As you would expect, there's a whole brand new bunch of crafting stations that you can make out of the brand new ore galaxite. Maybe because there's so much sand and open spaces, it seems not as in abundance as some of the other ores we found in the other biomes, so you will have to look far and wide to get some. Likewise, there are special nodes that you'll be able to set up your mining equipment on, but again, I only found one of them after exploring a good chunk of the desert, so yeah, look out for them especially. Now once you get your galaxite, you're going to have to bring it over to the Fury Forge, and this is how you're going to go ahead and smelt it down. And of course you'll be able to craft a brand new workbench, anvil and more. So of course in the brand new crafting bench you can make the brand new galaxite pickaxe, shovel, swords, and of course a new fishing rod. And then you've got the typical anvil, as well as the go-kart workbench as I mentioned, and the traps. And yes, there's lots of building pieces. So you will be able to make more of the primitive go-karts. They're pretty cheap, with only costing tin, copper and some mechanical parts. But the next one, the Renegade one, which gives you a little bit more chance to go around corners a bit more stabler. It's 380 galaxite bars, 250 iron bars, 250 copper and 70 mechanical parts. And the speed start is about the same, but instead of iron you're using scarlet. I haven't got to that point yet that I've got enough materials to make these, but I'm hoping they are a lot faster than the primitive ones, as you can't even outrun the scarabs when in this. Of course, in the anvil we've got a brand new armor set, gives you bonuses to critical hit damage of course, and you get extra damage while at max health when wearing the full set. You are able to craft some galaxite daggers as well, and yeah, the chakram, quite a big chunky critical hit chance. So some of the brand new traps that have been added seem pretty OP and great for farming mobs or keeping your base protected. Both the traps shoot out a white hot flame. The trap on the floor doesn't need any electricity, it will just power up on its own. But the turret, that will need powering by generator electricity circuits. So yes, I think there probably is a way to also speed up how fast it does shoot. Useful, but definitely needs tinkering with. You're now able to craft a bug net in one of the earlier crafting benches and pick up a bunch of the critters. You can go ahead and put these critters on stools, and I'm hoping that in the future they might have some sort of aquarium or terrarium, maybe in glass cylinders or something, so we can look at these in a bit more of a nicer fashion. There's a brand new key crafting station. You'll be able to find some of these keys as you explore the different biomes, and each one corresponds to locked chests that you'll also find in some of the caves, which will undoubtedly give you some loot. So if you really can't find any, you can go ahead and craft your own once you make the crafting bench. So another cool little feature is that you can now go ahead and harvest or gather up certain features in the environment. Previously a lot of this stuff would just break, but now you can actually take big rocks home with you and make your bases look a little bit more natural. A nice quality of life feature, or I guess update for progress, is that you're being given some extra points because they've made it easier to get some of them last levels. The patch notes say that it was maybe a bit too grindy to get some of the highest levels, so they've given it or made it easier, which means you get some bonus levels. So check your skills, even if you think you had them already maxed or you hadn't got any new ones recently, and you should have some that you can now spend. You'll also notice a whole bunch of brand new achievements for Core Keeper as well, and they should have acted retrospectively if you leveled up and stuff. So yeah, you've probably got a whole bunch that popped up when you loaded the game. So when it comes to finding the new bosses, as I said, you're going to need 40 Scarab wing covers for the Raka, and for Ignatius, the Molten Mass, you're going to need a 120 Magma Slime. Does look like also we're going to need to summon it with something like this, a Thumper. Chrome fibre, planks, scarlet, galaxite, mechanical parts and ancient gemstones. The patch notes are pretty lengthy, but some other key features to look out for are some new enemies in some of the older caves, including the new caving spearmen and skirmisher that will spawn in the clay caves, along with new scenery objects relating to them enemies. You will need to go and find a new clay cave biome to maybe find some of these new decorative pieces as well. There's a whole bunch that has been improved with the cooking, but that will definitely need a separate video to go over more of the benefits. So the update has been great. It does more of what you expect. New bosses, new weapons, new armor, new ways to play. It probably does need a little bit more in the next update though. I would say something to keep players having a fresh new mechanic to mess around with. Maybe that can be more advanced taming and creatures rather than necessarily just the mobs, but maybe some more friendly creatures to add. I think if you go back far enough, they might have spoken about possibly adding stuff like pets. And I think now's the time. We've had a good amount of focus on combat and traversal with different ways to get across the different biomes. I definitely feel like experienced players who have grinded a lot and have got all the best gear over the last 6 or 9 months, they'll sail through this update pretty quickly. Newer players of course will have a bit more of a balanced playthrough if they're starting off a fresh new world. By the time to get to here, I don't think you'll be so OP that it'll become a doddle. Once again, the music and that addictiveness from playing the game is second to none. The Molten Biome I absolutely love, and once I learn how to control my go-karts a bit better, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it even more. Hopefully I can build a race and some of you guys can come and race with me. So there you go, that's everything you need to know about Core Keeper Desert Beginnings. Go and buy and try the new update.